Hola chicos, en este video vamos a continuar con los verbos que se conjugan como gustar. These are verbs that normally end in a or an. Okay, some of these verbs include encantar, to love, me encantan las papas fritas. Importar, to be important, me importa mucho la familia. Gustar, obviously meaning to like, me gusta mucho bailar. Interesar, to be interesting. Okay, y también doler, to hurt or to cause pain. We use these with the indirect object pronouns, which are me, te, le, nos, os, les. Now don't confuse these with your reflexive verbs, with your reflexive pronouns, which we just went over. Obviously your difference here is in your third person with le and les. They follow this pattern. First we have our indirect object pronoun, then we have our verb, then we have our subject. Por ejemplo, me gusta el fútbol. Me is my indirect object pronoun. Gusta is my verb, and it's what must agree with my subject. Okay? Como se dice I like sports? Okay, so what we need to think is we need to reword this to say sports are pleasing to me. I gives me me. Like, for like I use gusta. However, since sports is plural, I have to change gusta to gustan. Los deportes determines the form of gustar. Como se dice I like to play sports? Now this one's a little bit different because we're inserting the verb to play in there. Once again, I like, I, me, like, gusta. Now we're inserting in to play. Okay, we're using practicar here. Practicar is going to determine my form of gustar. Since practicar is a verb, notice it's in the infinitive form, it's not conjugated, it's going to give me the form of gusta. Now, sometimes we need to clarify to whom the indirect object is referring, and we're going to begin the sentence with a prepositional phrase such as a mí me gusta, a ti te gusta, a Juan, a él, a ella le gusta, a nosotros nos gusta, a Juan y a mí nos gusta, a ellos les gusta, etc. Por ejemplo, le gusta el fútbol. Well, we know that soccer is pleasing to somebody, but we don't necessarily know to whom it is pleasing. So, we're going to clarify by inserting a Juan. A Juan le gusta el fútbol. Now we know that soccer is pleasing to Juan. Juan likes soccer. Okay, más ejemplos aquí, ejemplos con otros verbos. Nos encanta jugar videojuegos. Once again, jugar is what determines my form of encanta. Jugar is an infinitive. It's going to give me the singular form of encanta, not encantan. We love to play video games. To play is what determines my form of love. Okay, a Sara le importa la familia. So, family is important to Sara. In my Spanish sentence, la familia is singular. We're just talking about one family here, even though there are multiple members. La familia determines the form of importa, and Sara is what determines my indirect object pronoun. A mí me interesan otras culturas. Okay, my subject, other cultures. Other cultures, that's plural. So it's going to give me the plural form of interesan. Okay, a mí, that means that I'm going to be using me for my indirect object pronoun. Other cultures are interesting to me. A Felipe le duele la cabeza. My subject, la cabeza, head. Okay, so we're saying literally here, the head hurts Felipe. So the head is what determines your form of doler. We have duele, not duelen. And then Felipe is what gives me my indirect object pronoun le. Vamos a continuar con los adjetivos posesivos en el próximo